In this video, I'd like to do two example problems from the 9-2 bookwork. They are not problems that were assigned to you. They are the evens of two odd problems that are very similar that you did have for homework. So I would say this would be very similar to 13, and this would be very similar to 15 from your assigned homework. And this is a scenario where I'm not asking you to do the entire binomial expansion and multiply everything out and find those answers, but I'm just asking you to find the coefficient for a specific term. So remember, when you have a term within the binomial expansion, we typically have a combination that is done out front to get our leading coefficient. Then you have your a term, which in this case is x, being raised to some power. They're telling you the x would be being raised to the fifth. The y is being raised to the 8th. Notice this is perfect because these two should add to give me the n, the power that I'm raising the whole thing to. And it does, so 5 and 8 make 13. So to find our leading coefficient, there's no numbers within this, so that makes it easier. We just need to know what this combination is and to evaluate that piece. Whenever you do your combination in front of your terms here, the top number is always the power you've been raising to, so I know 13. The bottom number always coincides with the exponent that you are on with your b term. So since I'm on the 8 with my b term, I know I'm going to do a 13 combination with 8, and if you do that, you will get 1287. And so that in this case would be the coefficient that goes with our x to the 5th, y to the 8th term. For number 16, we know that we want to be on the x to the 7th term. So our a is going to be being raised to the 7th. I'm going to have a combination out front of 11 combination with something. Now my b term, I have a -3. Now you have to realize if you are on x to the 7th, your b should be being raised to the 4th, because again these two have to add to equal 11. So I know my b is on the 4th, and remember what we just said, whatever power that b is on, that is what your combination should be being done with. So I'm going to take 11 combination with 4, and then I have an x to the 7th. And here's the tricky part of this one. There's more numbers involved in this term than just the combination out front. So you have to do -3 to the 4th, which is 81. So now if you take your 11 combination with 4, you're going to need to multiply that number by 81, and that will be your coefficient that sits with the x to the 7th. And that should be, it's going to be big, 26,730. So that number is the final answer to this question. That would be the coefficient. Hopefully that helps. Those scenarios, if you know the patterns, should be pretty easy for you to figure out.